Well, there's a certain necessity in doing a channel like this to discuss some of the unsavory, unhappy, unpleasant things that go on in the Philippines, especially with relationships, because part of going into a new environment is knowing what kind of dangers you need to be aware of. If it's a person's first time hiking out in the Southwest American desert, for instance, they should have at least a basic understanding to expect everything from cactus to Gila monsters, scorpions, tarantulas, and rattlesnakes. But what I'd like to do today is probably a welcome departure and discuss the better side of how good life in the Philippines or life with a good Filipina, and I will emphasize that right at the beginning. We're talking about how great it can be in a relationship with a good Filipina woman. We've spent plenty of time talking about how bad it can be when you run into a bad one, but that's not what we're going to do today. Now, since 2012 up until 2019, I spent 7 years patiently weeding through Filipinas that I have met, dated, gotten to know, figured out it wasn't going to work out, moved on, until I finally found V, who is my wife. We met 4 years ago, definitely made it past the first 3-month mark, which, again, experience shows me that 85% of the new relationships you begin don't make it to the 3-month mark. In fact, a lot of them will crash and burn in the first 4 to 6 weeks. So as you run into those kind of odds, even in the Philippines, don't be surprised. So when I first met V, and I do mean I first met her in person, I literally knew when I saw her from 50 feet away, the first half second, I knew I was going to drop everything and focus on finding out if she really is who I think she is. A big problem is many guys will get swept away, as I was with V, with a very good, strong, healthy, happy first impression, and then they lock into that. But what I did was I thought to myself, wow, this is an amazing person. I'm already highly impressed, not just because she's attractive, but just her demeanor, the way she carries herself, her smile. But the second thought that I had as I walked towards her was, I need to verify, is she really as wonderful and sweet as she appears to be? And fortunately, the answer was yes. And I spent 2 years before making the commitment for the two of us to get married. It was not something I jumped into during the honeymoon phase. We had 2 years to get to know each other, be around each other when things went wrong, be around each other when we're bored or disappointed or angry or upset with each other. Which leads me to the first element, which is the reason we've done well is because over the last 4 years, as we disagree on something, and that will constantly happen between any two people, two business partners, doesn't matter. You're always going to have disagreements. But what helps us is that we slowly learned how to resolve our differences without taking the conversation personally. It's not about personal attacks or poking at each other's insecurities. We are at a point now where when we disagree, we know we're just trying to find a solution. She has one way of solving the situation. I have another way. She presents her merits. I present mine. And really, whoever has the best approach, we both know at some point that's what we need to do, because that's the best thing for both of us. We understand we're in this together. We will either both suffer for bad decisions or we will both benefit from good decisions. So it's not about my way or we did it your way last time. None of that has anything to do with anything, but that's the sort of mechanism that takes time to build in a new relationship when you meet somebody, so that you have that in your toolbox whenever you need it. I don't know if they still do it, but back when I was a kid, if you saw a car commercial and it's showing the car doing this and that, they would finally get around to the gas mileage, and in little letters down below, they would say, your mileage may vary. Keep in mind, we're discussing a healthy, good relationship with a good Filipina. This is how good it can be. However, I will make the same caveat. Your mileage may vary. Why? Because many factors. Her maturity level, the amount of age difference between the two, the amount of age difference between the two of you, whether or not she's even had a long-term relationship in the past. Different factors will affect your level of bliss from what I'll describe here. Being with my wife the last 4 years, we have had our share of challenges. We had to do an LDR, long distance relationship, for those who don't know what that means. We had to do an LDR for almost 18 months. And during that time, my health took some really serious blows. I had a very high glycemic index that absolutely had to be dealt with. And that is when I got into intermittent fasting and keto diet. And right on the heels of that issue, as I arrived in California roughly 2 years ago, I then lost my eyesight. And for a period of about 3-4 months, I only had about 2 to 5% of my vision. So I had to get eye surgery, which I could not get until I brought my blood sugar down. Now, she could have flipped out and abandoned the relationship and said, well, I just need a healthier specimen to hitch my wagon to, but she didn't do that. So I got my eye surgeries done, got back to the Philippines, picked her up, and not long after that, my appendix blew out. So I had to get emergency surgery. It had already blown out 9 days before the surgery, but I didn't know my appendix had already ruptured. So there was a high risk of having gone septic. Fortunately, I had a very good doctor and took a massive amount of antibiotics and came out of that okay. But then 4 months after that, after healing up from that surgery, I then got a hernia. But through all of this hardship and difficulty, we're still together. And my worst case scenario, where she just tells me, I'm done, I can't take any more of this, I'm gone. I'm at a place in my life, and maybe I'll talk about this in more detail in another video, but I do not cling. If in this case she wanted to leave, I would hand her her suitcase, help her pack, get her a plane ticket, and I would say, if you can't be with me in the hard times, then just leave right now. I'll find somebody else who can. But I'm happy to report, here she is at my side, and life is good. Another thing to look for and enjoy in a relationship with a good Filipina is something that maybe you've gotten used to doing without in the West. And it is a combination of femininity and what I call caring in action. Every so often, I'll just observe my wife as she's walking around the house doing stuff. And it kind of reminds me of that scene in Snow White where she's going around the cottage and she's singing a song and washing the dishes and getting dinner going and just happy, and actually is singing some song. And okay, so it might be an 80s song and she doesn't really get the words right, but she's in a happy mood, she's feminine, she's keeping herself busy. She built a garden outdoors, not because we really needed to save on vegetables, but because she wants to eat healthy and she loves gardening. And she's pretty darn good at it. I wake up every day and I can put all my focus on my channel, my content, responding to as many comments as I can and answering emails and PMs. And the reason I can devote myself and focus on what I do is because she handles everything else. She keeps track of what we're running low on in the fridge, and periodically will just send me in Messenger the list. It might be a short list, might be a long list, but there it is. We need milk, we need lemons, we need apples, we need yada yada. She keeps track of all that, And every now and then, I just have to jump on the bike. The list is on my phone, and very easy peasy, I can just go in, grab it, pay, get out, and we're all stocked up again. And this is important. With a good attitude, with a happy attitude, she keeps the house in order. Everything is always clean. All I got to do is kind of move my feet once in a while as she passes by to sweep under my desk and sweep the whole house. The bathroom's always clean. Every night that we go to bed, there is not one dirty dish in the sink. Everything is wiped down, clean, and ready for the morning. When we run low on drinking water, she sends a text, she puts the bottles out with the money, and we never run out of drinking water. She takes care of that. She's a fantastic cook, and I'm not just saying that. She has the skills to cook just about anything I ask of her. When we first met, she only knew how to cook Filipino food. She hadn't had any experience cooking anything else. But what told me she was a good cook and not just a cook by rote is that I would send her a YouTube recipe and she would make it for dinner. All I had to do was get her the right ingredients. And next thing I know, I've got chicken schnitzel or barbecued spicy shrimp or anything else, and she's able to figure it out, again, because she wasn't cooking just out of habit. She knows how to cook. And it's very tasty, and also this leads into another thing. She looks out for my health because she had already, before I met her, a healthy mindset when it comes to nutrition. She would occasionally, with her mom and dad, have a little bit of what they call corn rice, which is kind of like cornmeal, kind of like cream of wheat, but she makes it like rice, and she'll eat only a little of it with certain dishes like crab or shrimp. But other than that, she's an anomaly because she's a Filipina that doesn't want rice every day. Even more so when we got together and I told her, I cannot be eating rice. She's had the open mind to understand, as I explained to her, the detrimental effects of rice turning to sugar, which is bad for the body. So it's not just like, don't make rice. Okay, on we go. She understands and wants to know, okay, what do you eat? And I tell her, I basically eat meat and vegetables, eggs included. Now, 90% of the time, that's what I'm eating because that's what she puts on the list, that's what's on the fridge, and that's what she cooks. She makes some fantastic soups. I'm telling you, this is like restaurant quality egg drop chicken soup to die for. She makes a fantastic beef stew with vegetables. Every day for the last 6 months, she makes me the exact same breakfast, which I don't have until about 11 a.m. or sometimes noon. Today I had my breakfast at 3 p.m. because we're both trying to get into a habit of intermittent fasting. So we only eat 2 meals a day. And the breakfast she makes me is anywhere from 4 to 6 eggs with some kind of meat on the side. It could be corned beef, could be sausage, sometimes it's both. And I know there's nitrates and all this, but the idea is to stick to an all-protein breakfast, which keeps me full the rest of the day until we have either meat or meat and vegetables or meat vegetable soup for dinner. Now, once in a while, we go out to eat and we'll get a halo-halo dessert. We'll have some barbecue chicken, which has a little bit of sugar in it. I'll even sneak off and get a McDonald's burger once in a while. But 90% of the time, we're pretty much eating healthy, and she's the one that makes that happen. Another 2 items that are just really great when you have a good Filipina woman in your life. And again, all of these things are things that you may want to keep an eye out for. If these are the things you want in your relationship, you may need to cultivate them and let them know this is the kind of marriage that I want. Now with us, what I love is that she has a good sense of humor. It's my belief that one of the ways you deflect stress out of your life, which is detrimental to your overall health, is to have a sense of humor. When something doesn't go as planned, we planned on going to the beach and then it starts raining, each of us can have a good sense of humor about it. And mixed in with that is a sense of affection. Now, different people have different ways of expressing that. I believe there's a book I read years ago by Gary Smalley, The Love Languages, something like that, The Four Love Languages. You can check it out on Amazon. Because there's people who want to show affection verbally, others by, say, the man shows it by keeping the house maintained or whatever. In our case, her and I are the same way. We need physical contact. That is how we show our affection. We're very verbal. I would say that we tell each other verbally out loud that we love each other at least 8, 12 times a day, morning to night. But physically, we both show our love with affection. We really can't get within 3 feet of each other without touching each other. It might be a caress across the back. It might be a full-blown hug and kiss. In fact, one of my favorite things is every time I walk through the door coming back home, she calls out to me, comes over, gives me a big hug, gives me a kiss, helps me take the backpack off of my back, puts away all the groceries so that I can just focus on changing clothes or taking a shower. And it's great. It's very encouraging to know you're with somebody who physically lets you know with their touch they care about you, they're on your side, and even without asking, she'll sometimes just say, hey, do you need a massage? You want a massage? I'll make time for it. And she's got the oils, and I put on the relaxing music. We set the lights down low, and, she tells me, okay, lay down, sir, ready for your massage. And then she'll say, okay, get ready to enjoy the pain. But it's not really painful. Actually, it really feels great. She does more the Swedish massage approach, so I always end up feeling better after. And finally, I would say one other great aspect of being with a truly good Filipina woman is I wake up every day, and it's natural that when you love a woman, you want to find ways that make her happy, that make her smile. And it's horrible when you're living with a woman that is high maintenance, and no matter what you do, it's never good enough. I'm sure many of you have experienced that. But when you're with a truly good Filipina woman, she qualifies more like low maintenance. The things that you do to make her happy are not grand, big things necessarily. It might be something as simple as she's craving a certain type of fruit. So you get on your bike, you drive into town, you get the fruit, you bring it back. She throws a big hug around me and thanks with so much appreciation for fruit. Or it might be she's in the mood for shrimp or crab. Or it might be she just wants to go to the bridge and watch the sun go down. It might be that she wants a new dress. And in the Philippines, because we're so close to all the different textile outlets in Vietnam and China, getting her a beautiful new dress might be at the most 450, maybe 600 pesos, often less than that. And she is so happy and appreciative. It really does a lot for your mental health as a man when you can see her genuinely smile and be appreciative and thankful even in the little things. So I want to say, as you go dating in the Philippines, keep these sort of things in mind. If these are the sort of things that you look forward to in a long-term relationship or marriage with a Filipina, do not waste your time with a woman who is not even close to this. When you encounter a woman that you can't trust, or you encounter a woman that is high maintenance, you encounter a woman that makes your life harder, not happier, drop her and just keep on looking. Do not settle. Look until you find what it is that you really want, and you will thank yourself 1,000,000 times over.